Alright, so this is a re-review. I think a re-review is a stupid idea, but here I am doing it. Because after I guess you play a game for 85 hours, which is what Steam tells me I've done. I've played NASCAR 85 on my PC for 85 hours. So when you're nearing the triple digit number of hours played on a game, you have a much better understanding than, let's say, when you first get the game, and then because you know how YouTube works and how views work, you have to get the review out within a first certain number of days. I never like putting a review out either the day of or the day after, or even 2 days after I play the game. I try to wait at least a few days, so that way the views still come in, but I have a better understanding of the game. And I said some things in the review where they don't really hold up now. Gameplay wise, the game actually plays pretty good in my opinion. If you guys like Heat 4, which I think Heat 4 is a solid game in terms of physics and driving and the AI, there's not a lot changed here. Specifically the one when I said if you like NASCAR Heat 4, then you'll like NASCAR Heat 5. That's not true. Physics wise, you're not going to see much of a difference from Heat 4. In when you dip your toe into the game, yes, if you like NASCAR Heat 4, then you should like NASCAR Heat 5 because it's very similar. The gameplay is similar, it looks similar, it's very similar. It's almost literally the same game. Then you play it more and more, and then you realize NASCAR Heat 5 is much worse than NASCAR Heat 4. And it's kind of staggering how much worse for a game that is oddly very similar. So let's just get right into it. Number one, the game's not finished. It hasn't been finished for months. When it came out, it wasn't finished. Has insane amount of bugs, an insane amount of just little details that are missing, whether it be in career and the numbers don't show up or the name's wrong or just a bunch of just it's like the type of bugs where it's just lack of attention or more likely there wasn't enough time to proof. It's like when you write an essay, you write a 20-page essay, right, for your AP language class in high school or something, and you have, it's 3,000 words, right? It's like if you submitted that without the spelling and grammar check. So you just do everything in a rough draft and then you submit it. You don't go into Microsoft Word and you type, spelling and grammar check, and then it goes through and finds like 20 errors, right? And then you're like, oh man, thank God it fixed all that. Well, no, this game is like writing a 20-page essay, but then you didn't do the spell and grammar check, and then you turn it in. That's what NASCAR Heat 5 is. That's the best analogy I could use. It is a buggy mess. It is unfinished. It is rushed. And more importantly, it oozes the feeling of they made the game and they play tested certain things while making it, but then when they finished those areas, they just forgot about it. So if you know what I mean, so when you're making I don't know, some sort of project, right, and you're going through the steps or you're putting together a puzzle and you put that piece of the puzzle together, but then you just kind of leave it alone and it gets, I don't know, dusty or something. You put it in your closet for a little bit and there's some marks on. You kind of just leave it alone. You're like, oh, I finished that. I did it a little. I finished, right? Well, you have to when you finish a game, you have to play test the whole game to find the bugs. And there are certain situations, specifically like the one at Homestead. Oh, whoa, what the? Why does Homestead look like this? What's going on? What is this? I thought I had Homestead, and then Homestead sends this at me? What? The sun is placed? What in the world is going on here? Where those kind of things, you just don't understand how that was put into launch for the game. It's a very big bug that you would think would gather some attention from anyone who raced at Homestead. For some context, this game did come out July 5th. Now, normally the NASCAR Heat games come out mid-September, September 11th, September 14th, somewhere around there. So the fact that it came out in July after the takeover from Motorsport Games obviously shows that there was a rush to get this game out for the future, which is and I feel like I'm saying this a lot about NASCAR, for the future. 2022 new car for the NASCAR Heat series. It's no longer going to be called NASCAR Heat. In 2021, there's going to be a new game engine, so it's going to be built from the ground up. So this game literally feels like, all right, just get it out there, and that's what it is. You just get it out there, and I was too nice in the review. Once I realized it was like, okay, we have to get it out there. I thought it was going to be very similar to Heat 4. After playing it for a few hours, I was like, okay, it's very similar to Heat 4. I'm not finding a lot of bugs, right? But then you have situations where you DNF your car. And in certain instances, when you DNF, it is just downright stupid.
Down 1 second. Yeah.
Ooh! Then when you DNF, and this is a little detail, but again, it's just something that it just takes you out of it. So you DNF your car, and then if you go back to career mode, it says you got a smooth driving rating, or you did super well, you were super clean that race because I DNF'd. And then there is a situation where if you are in the championship race and you DNF, then you win the championship according to your spotter or according to the game that you won the championship, even if you didn't finish in first.
Line, got one outside. Fantastic job today.
Guys.
You see, those kind of things are when you play the game, it just takes you completely out of it, and you just don't want to play anymore. Those are the kind of game-breaking bugs that there's too many of them in this game. Now, I'll give credit where credit is due. Online is, in my opinion, pretty solid compared to most racing games that I've seen and played. I'll just give an example. I was playing F1 2020 on the PS4. I haven't played it in a while on the PS4, but I was playing it. I was doing some online races. And there was multiple nights where I would try for 20 minutes to find a race with other people. And I couldn't do it because of the matchmaking system that F1 has. And I will never in my life agree with matchmaking systems on racing games. I think they're downright stupid and pathetic. On shooters, on sports games, I'm fine with it. On racing games, pathetic, stupid. Multiple nights, I couldn't find anyone to race with. It's not my problem. I have a completely fine internet connection. I'm in a completely fine region. I should be able, when I want to race online, to just go right into a race and race with other people. No. I mean, I spent 30 minutes one day by myself in a lobby. Get out of the lobby, get back in, get out of the lobby, get back in. Oh, the matchmaking system always puts me in with no one, right? In NASCAR Heat 5, that's never a problem because you can always find a lobby. Well, whatever track you want, it gives you the track, it gives you the race percentage, it gives you the people in it, it gives you the host, it gives you the amount of people in there in the race, so you know what's going on. It gives you the rules, custom setups, whatever. So as soon as you get it online, you can go do whatever you want, and you will have other people to race with. So online in the NASCAR Heat games, in my opinion, are good when you find the right people to race with. Obviously, the negatives on that side don't come from online itself. In my opinion, it comes from the game, the physics, blah blah blah. I've already been beating that dead horse already. So you guys know I'm not gonna go into that. But just like the online servers, the connection, I don't usually have a problem with it. There are certain instances where lag is a thing, but with my connection, from my experience on the PS4, I do not have any issues online. So I've still yet to criticize a NASCAR Heat game for its online play, to be honest. I think since Heat 2 and Heat 3 that the online play, when you get the right people, is fine. The game just has to be better. In this game, as the I guess the consensus of this re-review, I don't want to go too long, so I'm going to try to keep it a little bit short here towards the end. The consensus of the re-review is the game's unfinished, a buggy mess, it's very frustrating at times, and it's just inconsistent. There are times in a race at a track where you're like, wow, this feels a lot like Heat 4. This feels pretty good. You know, not great, but it feels okay. It feels good. It feels fun. 7 out of 10-esque, right? That's what I gave Heat 4. I think that's nearly what I gave Heat 5. But then there are just so many bugs, and it's so unfinished, and it's so unpolished. The game just, in the menu screen's boring. It's just, we can't have a situation like this. I understand that we're going to a new game engine. I understand when you go to a new game engine, you have to make the game from scratch. That's going to take a lot of time to build the game from scratch, the way you want it to be on the next gen consoles, may I have, so you have to deal with the new consoles as well. So you have to make sure it's up to par there. But you can't just throw this thing out there completely unfinished, and it is October 23rd. What is that? 4 months after release, 4 months after release. Um, and a lot of the bugs have not been fixed. A lot of the details in career mode have not been fixed. There are certain things like the custom rim color glitch that was fixed, but there are still a lot of just annoying buggy messes. The road courses on this game are much worse than Heat 4. Heat 4, the road course physics were a lot better. I don't know what happened on Heat 5, but the road course physics, the way your car reacts to the curbs, the way your car switches weight from a left-hander to a right-hander in a quick transition, it is horrible. It's downright almost unbearable. Braking at those tracks makes me want to just lose my mind. And so, if I had to give the game an overall score now, after playing the game for 85 hours, it would have to be around a 4 or a 5 out of 10, just for the fact that it's unfinished. I mean, that's the main thing. You get knocked, you get below average for that when it's unfinished. That is the duty of the developer, to make sure the game is finished. And I think for the new game, really, if it just gets play tested more and it gets reported issues, I mean, like, this is what I've been saying. Get someone, multiple people. You don't even have to pay them. Just get them to sign an NDA and just tell them, listen, play this game for this many hours, go through as many races, as many tracks, as many modes as you can, and just report whatever bugs you can find. Something like the rim color glitch, the fact that that was in the game at release makes no sense to me, because all you have to do is just run a custom car and it's there. One race with a custom car and it's there. It could be reported. So play test the game. And that is the biggest thing that needs to be done. So I'm going to leave it there. That is it for me. And that is it for the re-review. I never want to do one of these again, because usually when you re-review a game, it's not for good reasons. So I don't want to do this again. Subscribe if you're new, guys. Comment down below what you think of the game. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. I will continue with the career mode on here. And the pain will continue. It's entertaining, so I don't mind that. But if I had to play this game like without YouTube, I don't know. I'm definitely playing F1 instead. So I'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves and peace out.